Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Got another sprue review here for you today. Another one from Wargames Atlantic. This one is the Minutemen sprue review, released earlier this year for their Age of Reason line. Reviewed the Grenadiers already. This is the other sprue box set that was released at the same time for their American War of Independence line. Would imagine they're going to come out with more later on. But the way Wargames Atlantic likes to do their releases, they release a little bit and then move on to another subject matter, or they release another subject matter next. They don't release a whole line all at one time, which in of itself can be frustrating, but at the same time it gives you time to get what the new release is, get it built, painted, and ready to game, and then hopefully by that point they've released the next set and you can move on to it and do the same thing, as opposed to everything being released at once and you've got to get it and you've got a big old pile of potential sitting there that can be very intimidating. So let's take a look at the sprue. It's a pretty compact sprue, but there's a lot on the sprue. It's not very big, as I said. You get 5 bodies, all in militia-looking outfits for the day. Because they're the Minutemen, these guys are just meant to be a quick response force, to be ready in less than a minute to head out to deal with threats. In this instance, the British, and I guess in every instance, that's what they were meant to deal with. So, really nice detail on the bodies. You can see all the individual buttons, some straps here and there. Nothing too crazy, and, you know, Napoleonic style straps or anything like that. Something different on this sprue as compared to the Grenadier sprue is you get 7 rifles, or muskets I should say. As with the Grenadier sprue, you had 5 bodies, 5 muskets. So you get 2 additional muskets here, which gives you some real versatility. And with the kit, if you've got multiples of these sprues and you're having to put a force together, it really lets you change up how they look and everything. Another difference is there's 10 heads, 5 in the with tricorn hats here, and then 4 with these flat brimmed hats with 2 brims up on the side, or 2 of them with the side of the brim pushed up, and then 1 hatless head. So that's pretty neat. Something that's also different for this sprue, another thing, is you get these ponytails. I don't know how well it's going to show up, if I can get it to focus. These ponytail bits. There's 5 of them. Now, not all 5 tricorns get a ponytail, and not all 5 of the other heads get a ponytail. There's 3 for each. So if you didn't want to attach any ponytails to your miniatures, because they do look like very small bits, I don't know how fiddly they're going to be, but I'm going to try to attach some. You could do heads to where you didn't have to worry about that. So that's pretty neat. The rifles, you've got 2 in the middle of getting ready to fire, 2 aiming, 1 marching, 1 reloading, and 1 carrying leisurely down at its side. So that's pretty neat. Something else you get that every kit should have is a finger pointing, my finger points. So that's pretty neat to have. So a lot of, like I said, it's a compact sprue. It's not very big, but there's a lot on this sprue that you can make everything look, make every individual look different. And I feel like you could get a pretty diverse force out of a box set or several box sets, because they're not going to be uniform, different colors, different way that, sorry about that, but like I said, different way the heads are posed, different heads that you use, the different hats and such. It's going to be really easy to have a bunch of different looking Minutemen. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go away, put 2 or 3 of these guys together. Like I said, attempt to do the ponytails on a couple of them maybe, depending on how aggravating the first one is, and come back and compare them to the Grenadiers and to the Wargames Continental Army miniatures, and see how they scale up and how they would look together in on the table or in a mixed force or whatever the case may be. So I'm going to go away and do that, and I'll be back. Alright guys, I'm back after putting these models together. I decided to go ahead and put all 5 together. They were really easy and simple to put together. They're just a body, 2 arms, and a head. So here's the first one. If I can get it to focus. It's right in there. But I like the way he turned out. He's got the my finger points thing going on. He's got a ponytail for his hair. These ponytails are a pain in the rear. It's the only way I know how to say it. I don't understand tooling and sprue layout and stuff like that very well, so I'm not going to say they could have done it different, but I do wonder if they could have, and then just had the hair, the ponytail attached to the head. I mean, this gives you more versatility on being able to, come on, focus. To turn the head and have position the ponytail. The heads I picked out ended up being 4 ponytails. I only did 2 of them. Let's see. Here's the other one that I did, which you can see where that ponytail is supposed to go. Like, it's in shadow. Once you prime and paint these models and, you know, darker hair colors, you're not going to see that, especially with contrast paints, even regular acrylic paints. You're not going to see where a ponytail is supposed to have went. I guess for historical accuracy, you want it. But, yeah, really lovely models. Ponytails are a pain in the rear, though. Not really very many mold lines. There was a couple with some spots of flashing here and there, but nothing too serious. So nothing that a scalpel or fingernail can't get rid of. These last 2, these firing ones, the arms are weird on how they fit. As you can see, it doesn't fill up this space right here, and it doesn't on this side either, like where the shoulder and arm meet up. So I think I'm going to try some green stuff to just try to fill that out a little bit and see how it turns out. See, this guy's also supposed to have a ponytail. See, you can see it like that, but when's your model like that? And like I said, once you paint it, you're not going to be able to tell that one was supposed to go there. And then this one, like I said, where arm and shoulder meet up on that one side, on this one, both sides on the first one. It's really weird. So they don't meet up too well. There's not enough depth to that arm. That arm's bent maybe too much at the elbow. Maybe if they could have it instead of like a sub 90 degree bend, maybe more out straight to give just some more depth to that arm, and it could have went back further. So this guy's gun is therefore pointing slightly up, but maybe he's in the process of bringing it down to fire. So that's what I'm going with. I've got a Grenadier model here to just compare. Let's see, let's do it like this maybe. And yeah, the Grenadiers are a little taller because of that hat. And Grenadiers historically are supposed to be the tall big men fighting the Grenadier units. So yeah, basically look the same. The Grenadiers may be a little bulkier, but only slightly, because again, they're trained professional soldiers and they're supposed to be big. That's how they're supposed to look. All right, and then next, got a Warlord Games AWI Continental Army Man. Continental Army soldier. And there's not a huge difference. These, like when I compared with these with the Grenadiers, the Warlord Games Continental Army, these guys are a little bulkier, a little thicker, which you see a lot now, especially with 28mm models, even ones that are supposed to be historical scale. They're a little bit bigger, but I think these guys aren't considered 28mm historical. They may be 25, or maybe they are considered and they're just on the smaller side. But, you know, a unit of Minutemen and a unit Continental Army, regular infantry, you know, militia or whatever, however you want to do these guys up, you're not going to notice the difference. And not every person is the same size. Like, you know, not every miniature should be the same size, arguably. That 28mm scale is meant to represent, from what I understand, a 6 foot tall figure. Not everybody's 6 foot. So not every model's, not everybody in the army or whatever is going to look the same. So really good models. I think they scale really well. I'm going to clip the bases off these guys and put them on these cobblestone bases like I've done my Grenadiers and AWI, or excuse me, AWI, Continental Regulars, just to have them all be the same. I had mentioned the Grenadiers, using them for silver bayonet, and I plan on doing the same with these Minutemen and the regulars. I also accidentally mentioned using them in Trench Crusade, which I think would be really cool, especially once you give them some like World War I, World War II weapons. I think you can do a lot there, and I think they look really cool. But I plan on using these for silver bayonet, so see how that turns out. And I'll be getting a sprue. I assume regulars will come out soon. Continental regulars from Warlord Games will come out in the relatively near future, and when those come out, I'll be sure to get a sprue of those and try those and review those for you guys. And more than likely anything else that comes out in this Age of Reason set. I really like this. I like how it looks. I'm excited to get them painted up and set up to play some games with them. So you guys have a wonderful rest of your day. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. It really helps the channel out. And when you subscribe, be sure to hit the bell icon and select all instead of personal. So that way, under your subscriptions page, or under your notifications, excuse me, you always get notified when I upload a video. So that way you're always seeing it. And be sure to check your subscriptions page to see all the videos for people you're subscribed to. They're not always going to show up on your homepage. Very rarely do they at this point, with the way the algorithm is with YouTube. So just be sure to always check your subscriptions, select all on that bell icon, and you're always getting notified when your favorite subscribers upload a video. So you guys have a wonderful rest of your day.